You're not tired. You're fucking exhausted. Not that I didn't sleep enough, kind of tired. I'm talking about the kind of exhaustion that seeps into your bones, where even thinking feels like lifting weights, where you stare at your screen and nothing clicks, where you blink and that alone feels like a goddamn chore. And the worst part? You've normalized it. You've convinced yourself that this is just how life is. You didn't fall asleep tired. You woke up defeated. You're not living. You're surviving on autopilot. You scroll through dopamine hits, trying to distract from the real weight. That quiet, invisible ache in your soul that screams, I can't do this much longer. And no one sees it. Because from the outside, you're functioning. You're attending meetings. You're replying to texts. You're nodding when people speak. But inside, you're crumbling. And it's not your fault. Because this world, it punishes stillness. It sells you this toxic hustle fantasy where if you're not grinding 24/7, you're losing. Sleep when you're dead. They say that shit like it's motivational. Nah. Sleep while you're alive, before you forget what being alive even fucking feels like. Let me say it clearly. You don't need more caffeine. You need peace. You don't need another productivity hack. You need permission to fucking rest. Because this isn't laziness. This is burnout wearing a smile. And if no one said it to you today, I will. You don't have to earn your right to breathe. You don't need to finish that damn to-do list to deserve to lie down. You don't need to prove anything before you're allowed to stop. You're a human being, not a machine. You don't have a battery to charge. You have a soul that's bleeding for silence. So let me ask you, when was the last time you truly rested? Not napped, not zoned out, not scrolled yourself numb. I mean real rest. The kind that strips you down to your core and says, you're safe. You're done for today. You can just be. Let's fucking break the myth once and for all. Rest is not a luxury. It is not a fucking reward for being productive enough. It's survival. It's oxygen for your soul. You think strength is about grinding when you're tired? Real strength is knowing when to stop. Real strength is saying, fuck this noise, I need a moment, and meaning it. You think quitting for a day is weakness? No. What's weak is dragging your half-dead self through life to please a system that doesn't even know your name. You are not a cog. You're not a brand. You're not a content machine. You're a fucking miracle. A living, breathing, emotional, complex being. And if you never pause, you'll forget who the hell you even are. Because the world will eat you alive if you let it. It will turn your silence into a sign of laziness. It'll turn your burnout into a badge of honor. Fuck that. You know what's rebellious in this culture? Peace. You know what's radical? Closing your laptop. Turning off your phone. Lying in bed. Not to escape, but to reconnect. To breathe. To exist without performing. We've made exhaustion the price of being valuable. We've tied our worth to output. And I'm here to cut that tie. You are enough. Right now. In your pajamas. With undone dishes. With that inbox blinking red. Still. Enough. So let me flip the script. Rest isn't stopping. It's returning. Returning to the version of you that existed before the world told you that your worth had to be earned. Before the deadlines. Before the pressure. Before the constant measuring of your value. Do you remember who you were before the burnout? Before you had to explain your existence in bullet points? That person is still in there. Buried under expectations. Buried under noise. But they're waiting. And rest is the fucking key to digging them back out. You don't need a vacation in Bali. You don't need candles or bath bombs or spiritual playlists. You just need this. A decision. To stop. To breathe. To say, I matter more than what I produce. Right now, you might feel like pausing means falling behind. But behind what? A race you never signed up for? A finish line that keeps moving? Let that shit go. The only thing you're falling behind on is yourself. And you've waited long enough. You ever feel like your mind is a battlefield? Like every time you try to rest, your brain kicks the door and like, hey, let's replay every failure from 2012 while you're lying here useless. It's not rest if you're at war with your own thoughts. And that's the catch, isn't it? It's not just the body that's tired. It's your fucking spirit. Your peace isn't broken because of sleep deprivation. It's broken because you've been carrying shit that was never yours. Read that again. That guilt? Not yours. That pressure to always be on? Not yours. That voice in your head that says you're not doing enough? Somewhere, someone planted that shit in you, and you believed it. You've been hauling invisible emotional bricks on your back for years. Family expectations. Fear of disappointing people. Social media comparisons. The voice that whispers, You're behind. The others are ahead. You should be doing more. Fuck that. Let it go. You are not a storage unit for other people's expectations. You don't exist to meet every demand or silence every critic. You don't need to outperform everyone to deserve peace. You just need to drop the weight. And no, I don't mean some deep 5-step journaling system. I mean literally, stop holding your breath. Stop tightening your chest every time you open your phone. Let it melt. That's real rest. When you release the tension you didn't even know you were holding. And sometimes, rest doesn't look aesthetic. It looks like sitting on the floor, phone on airplane mode, tears coming down for no fucking reason, and letting that be enough. You don't need to fix everything to deserve a pause. You don't need to become some healed, perfect version of yourself to take a break. Sometimes rest is messy. Sometimes rest is you choosing not to optimize your time. Sometimes it's just lying down and whispering to yourself, I made it through today, and that's enough. And if no one's ever told you this, that is enough. Not every day needs to be productive. Some days, surviving is the win. You ever notice how kids fight naps like it's a prison sentence? Like someone just stole their freedom mid-crayon masterpiece? And now, you'd kill for a nap. You'd give up an entire paycheck to just shut your brain off for a few hours. But here's the sick twist. As adults, no one makes us rest anymore. No one picks us up mid-breakdown and says, you've done enough today. Let's tuck you in. No one tells you it's okay to stop. So you just keep going, and fucking going, until the burnout feels normal, until numbness feels safer than stillness. That's what this world has done to you. It turned your basic human need to rest into something you feel guilty about. It made pausing feel like failure. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your breakdown. You don't owe this world your mental collapse just to prove you're worthy. You don't need to keep bleeding energy into a life that's asking you to abandon yourself. You're not here to perform. You're not here to chase a finish line that was never real. You're here to live, to feel, to breathe, to be. And the rest? The applause, the gold stars? All that shit is just noise. What matters is the voice in you that says, I'm allowed to stop. So stop waiting for the world to give you permission. It's not coming. This world profits from your exhaustion, from your constant consumption, from your self-doubt. So you have to give yourself what no one else will. Peace. And I'm not talking about spot A peace. Not the Instagram-filtered version of rest. I'm talking about radical peace. The kind that says, I cancel the meeting. I turn off the notifications. I choose myself. Not because it's convenient. Not because it's earned. But because you fucking deserve it. You want to talk about rebellion? Then let's talk about rest. Because in a world that profits off your insecurity, your exhaustion, your endless scrolling, and nonstop striving, rest is a goddamn revolution. Rest says, no, I'm not playing your game today. No to chasing perfection. No to the toxic productivity cult. No to measuring my value by how much shit I cross off a list. No, fuck that. Rest is the loudest no you'll ever say, and the most powerful yes to yourself. And guess what? You don't need a 5-day silent retreat in the Himalayas. You don't need sage smoke and $200 yoga pants. You don't even need to do it right. Sometimes, real rest is raw as hell. It's crying in your parked car because your brain finally shut up long enough for your emotions to speak. It's turning off every sound and sitting in the silence, even if it terrifies you. It's feeling everything you buried because it wasn't productive. And yeah, that might scare the shit out of you. Because silence reveals what noise kept hidden. But guess what? That chaos in you, it's not the enemy. It's the signal. It's your soul waving a red flag, screaming, I'm not okay, and that's okay. But I need space to breathe. That's what rest is. It's not giving up. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's finally choosing to come the fuck home to yourself. No edits. No filters. No pretending. You, as you are, without needing to earn your existence through effort. That, my friend, is sacred. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Not tomorrow. Not this weekend. Not after one more task, one more email, one more hour of pretending you're okay. Tonight, unplug. Turn off the noise. No music. No motivational video. No fix me podcast. Just stillness. Let it be awkward. Let it be uncomfortable. Let it be what you've been avoiding all fucking week. Lie down. Put your hand on your chest. And say out loud, I'm allowed to stop. Not because you earned it. Not because you hit your goals. Not because someone told you it's okay. But because you fucking exist. Because you have been carrying this heavy, invisible weight for far too long. Because you've been bending yourself into pieces trying to hold it all together. Because underneath the expectations, the burnout, the numbness, there is still a you worth coming home to. A version of you that isn't tired, isn't desperate for approval, isn't lost in the noise. That version is waiting in the quiet, in the breath, in the stillness. So tonight, rest like it matters. Rest like your life depends on it, because it fucking does. Rest like you're not a machine, but a human soul who forgot how soft life could feel. And tomorrow, when the noise creeps back in, and it will, remember this moment. Come back to it. Because this isn't a one-time thing. This is a practice, a rebellion, a commitment to not letting the world chew you up, to not letting busy become your identity, to remembering that behind the pressure, the perfectionism, the productivity, you are still enough. So breathe, close your eyes, let your jaw unclench, let your chest rise and fall, and know this, you're not broken, you're just tired, and that's okay. Sleep deep, dream honest, come back to yourself. This is your reset.